Alright, it says I'm live. If you guys can hear me, please let me know, and we will get into it. If I'm out of breath, it's because I was running around the house trying to find my charger. I want the thing to stop working. Alright, let me pop the chat out. Forgot to do that. It's important for a live stream. And I see there's quite a few people in here already, so that's pretty cool. Alright, it's loading, so let's wait a second. Alright, there's the chat. Yep, just let me know if you can hear me and we will get going. Loud and clear, cool. What's up, guys? What's like a 30-second delay? Is that what it is? What is up, everybody? I saw there's some chats early on. Let me see. There's a message that came in first, and I can't see it because my pinned message is there. So you can just re-say that. I can't see it right now. What's up, Timothy? Yeah, there's like 5 spots left in the contest, guys. Last time I looked, I think it was 94 out of 100 filled. So if you want in, just comment your DK username on the preview video. I'd be more than happy to send you an invite. What's up, Michael? What's up? I'll let everyone roll in for a little bit before I start answering actually real questions. Gizball says, so close to AK subs. Yeah, really close. I think like 5 away. Yeah, like 5 away. Cool. Hopefully we can get that soon. Matthew says, Brands Crew's calling you out, son. What's that mean? I don't know what that means. Who's Brands? You guys excited for the Buschy McBusch race? It's just such a fun name. So bonus points if you roster Chris Buescher, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch. Also, Kevin Harvick, he's got the Busch car, so you could throw him in there as well. Maybe you can make a lineup with all those guys. I'm sure that would fit if you guys want to go down Narrative Street. I'm not sure if anyone else would fit the bill. Maybe McDowell, because it's the McBusch race. So you could make a whole lineup using this narrative. FE says, okay, maybe I should start answering some questions here. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Although, maybe I should just start now, because it's going to keep going down. I'll just skip around a little bit. So let's see. Jay says, if you go Alfredo, you can have Logano, Larson, Bowman, Austin. I assume you mean Cindric. And Buescher. Yeah, Pasta Man's a big topic of discussion. I see a lot of people calling people out on Twitter like the past couple of days for having opinions on Anthony Alfredo. I'm like, I don't know what to do there, to be honest. I think he's going to come in close to like 15-20% owned today, which is probably a bit too much. I don't mind being underweight on that because Alfredo's ceiling is so low. Like, he's like a 30th place car these days, maybe even worse sometimes. So starting 22nd, I realize the price is really good, $4,500. That looks amazing, but I mean, if he finishes like his average, like around 25th, 26th place at the 1.5 mile tracks, we're talking 14, 13 points. And is that really going to be enough to be optimal? I mean, it might if you nail all your expensive guys and they just absolutely ball out today. But it's very risky going with Alfredo. I can't recommend him in cash today. I feel like people will play Alfredo in cash. I can't go that route. Just don't think it's worth it. Matthew says Brandon Cruz. Did he say something mean? I hope not. I like Brandon. I've never said anything mean about him, so that wouldn't be nice. Hopefully he didn't. Chris says, which cash lineup you like better? Larson, Bowman, Truex, Cindric, Buescher, and the Joy, or Larson, Bowman, Busch, Cindric, Buescher, and Suarez? So for cash lineups, I'm going to have to go to the one with, which Busch is that? Is that Kurt or Kyle? Because if it's Kurt, I definitely like that one a little bit better because you get like straight PD there. So assuming that's Kurt Busch, I'll go with the second one. Because I feel like Kyle might be a little bit risky in cash games, so I love that price point. Appreciate. I'm going to go back up in the chat. I just wanted to read the ones that are coming in right now, because I'm going to be like 30 minutes behind. John says, hey, Chris, congrats on finishing college. Thank you. I still have like 2 presentations I got to do, but assuming I don't get like zeros on those, I should be good. So, but yeah, I graduate next Saturday at 5 p.m. And I was hoping there wasn't like a Saturday race, because I wouldn't have known what to do there. But fortunately, we have a race on Sunday next week. So yeah, I graduate then, and then me and my girlfriend are leaving for Florida Monday at like 7 a.m. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to sleep that night. But appreciate it, John. Let's see. Who's your favorite GPP low-cost play and favorite large-field GPP mid-range? So low-cost favorite tournament play, I might have to say, I'm thinking Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain are going to be pretty popular today. So Chris Buescher might be a little bit lower owned, so I wouldn't hate going to Buescher. He's had some good runs at the 1.5s this year. I know he hasn't had maybe some of the best finishes in one of them, but I think he finished 14th and 7th, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. I don't have it right in front of my face, but I don't mind Buschy. I know he's starting a little bit high at 16th, but would you rather play Briscoe, McDowell, Priest, LaJoy? I would much rather get the Buschy there with some top 12 upside out of him. Aaron says no pasta for me today. I'm not feeling that much pasta either. I'm going to have a little bit just in case. Like if he holds like 22nd, 23rd, do I think that's likely? No. I mean, he's going to probably lose like close to 8 spots today. So I'm just going to have a little bit of him just in case, just because I can fit in Larson, Logano, Hamlin if I wanted to, if I do that. Oh, I got a donation from David. He didn't say anything with it, but I appreciate it, David. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. If you had a question, let me know. Whoops. How professional of me. I left my phone on. Okay. Alright, I'm going to scroll up a little bit, see if I missed anything important. The Travis Miller says, Blaney for the win today? I hope so. I got a good chunk of Blaney. I mean, he's just been the fastest car at the 1.5 since last season. He's been faster than this year. I know Atlanta's a high tire track, but did good there past Larson at the end. Kind of got help from his teammate a little bit, but he's been good. So I'd assume he's going to have plenty of speed. He's been in the tracks he's been better at is the low tire wear 1.5s compared to the high tire wear ones as well. What's up, Mr. Miyagi? Let's see. Andre says we'll have to have Chris pull up heat map for Alfredo because a lot of people think he only goes backwards today. Definitely right, Andre. I brought that up in the preview video, but looking at Alfredo, like if he finishes on the averages, we're talking like 12, 15 points today, which, I mean, $4,500, that's not the worst thing in the world, but is it really what you want today? Oh, MC Sub brings up a pretty good point today. Joey Logano, with him being under the weather, he does have food poisoning, I guess. I guess he's been battling that. It says he doesn't have any plans to have a backup driver, so I'm assuming he's good to go, Michael Jordan flu game style. But, I mean, that kind of makes me a little bit worried because if he's under the weather and doesn't feel good, what if he has to throw up during the race? Like, what if he... I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know exactly how he feels, but I guess that's a possibility. So maybe if you want to lower a little bit on Joey Logano, you could do that, but it's nothing really, like, I can put tangibly in projections, like a food poisoning factor or anything like that. So just something to keep in mind, because I don't know if a lot of you, I don't know if anyone saw that. I didn't even see that until a few hours ago. I was scrolling through Bob's Twitter feed because it's something I usually do on Sundays just to kind of keep up on everything. Let's see, where are we at? David says another video says absolutely fade McDowell. It might have been my video. I'm not playing McDowell today. I can't do it. He's starting, isn't he starting third? Yeah, sorry. I mean, he's just going to drop like a rock. I know he had that one good finish at a 1.5 where he finished in the top 10, but, like, can you really, like, if you tell yourself McDowell's going to finish over guys like Truex, Elliott, Harvick, I just don't see it happening today. What's up, Tony? He says, hello, hello, hello. Spread says Cindric is a must in GPP. I think he's definitely a must in cash games. Obviously, in tournaments, you can pivot to get, other guys because he's going to be so chalky. I'd imagine he's going to be the highest owned driver today. At least that's what I have in my ownership projections, and he's my highest owned driver personally. Like, how do you pass up $6,700? I realize, I know he's in a Penske car. I know he's not going to run up front with his Penske teammates, Blaney, Logano, and Keselowski, but there's definitely some top 20 upside here. And $6,700, if he was in, like, close to 9K like he has been, yeah, we can talk about getting away from Cindric. I barely played him last time. He was nearly $9,000 in a similar spot, but now it's $6,700. That just really opens the door because a lot of the cheap plays this week are just not very good. Like, you have Chastain and Suarez. I think they're pretty solid. So is Chris Buescher. But outside of that, McDowell sucks today, at least in my opinion. Ryan Preece, Corey LaJoy. Then you don't want to play Smithley and Mills, really. So it's like, where else are you going to go? So I have a lot of Austin Cindric today. Chase says, I was at the truck race last night. Awesome, Chase. Did you enjoy it? Let me know if you did. Where are we at? I'm kind of skipping around today. Something new. Because I hate being so far behind on the chat. So you guys can double ask questions if I don't answer. I don't mind it. Don't spam though, but you can double ask. Frank says, any drivers going back in the field? Not that I know of. I haven't seen anything on Twitter. Usually you guys let me know in the chat because this is around the time when we get drivers going to the rear. So please let me know. If a place differential big name goes to the back, it doesn't matter to me because they're already starting back there. But if a guy like Byron or maybe even a Kyle Busch, a Brad Keselowski, a Kevin Harvick goes to the rear, I'll definitely reduce my ownership. Because, I mean, I'm mainly focusing on place differential anyway today. Yes, I have a good chunk of Keselowski, Blaney, Harvick, Busch, and Byron, but for the most part, I want these place differential plays of the way the slate works out. I like Dude's comment here. It says, food poisoning is what happens when you eat the Alfredo noodle stock. It's funny. I like it. I like it. John says, hey, Chris, who was your favorite mid-range GPP play? Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you too, John. I'd say favorite mid-range GPP play today? Well, I would say Kyle Busch, but the further in the week we go, I feel like he's going to be pretty chalky, so I don't feel comfortable saying he's a super contrarian play. I will say Christopher Bell. I don't think a lot of people are going to go this route because he just doesn't really offer you any place differential upside. He's priced right in between Eric Jones and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who are two pretty solid place differential plays. And one thing I noticed in my lineups this weekend is that I'm not really getting to a lot of these 7K, 8K drivers because I want all those place differential guys up front, and I like the 9K range. And then if you're doing that, you're probably going down to that 6 and 5K range to fill out the rest of your lineup. So I think that like 7 to 8K range, besides a guy like Jones, can go a bit overlooked this weekend, and Kyle Busch. So Christopher Bell, Eric Jones was awesome here in the 20 car, and I mean Christopher Bell's been exceeding expectations. I mean he already has a win under his belt, albeit at a road course, but he's been doing very well this season, and he could have a sneaky top 5. He has sneaky top 5 upside here, and I think Eric Jones had like 3 top 5s the past 6 races here, and if Christopher Bell can at least perform similar expectations, if not surpass that, I know he's starting close to the front, but I don't mind getting some Christopher Bell today. I felt like I talked about Christopher Bell really long there. Mitchell says, good morning. Oh, wait, I got a donation. I got to look at that first. Appreciate it, Matt. Thank you very much. Congrats on graduating. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. My girlfriend does too. I got to let her, I told her I was going to tell everybody that because I want to leave her out, but she's graduating with me. She's in business as well. Oh, and I just saw her chat. Hello. Glad to have you in here, Miss Jules. Can't wait to graduate in Florida. Happy race day, everyone. Totally agree. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. We're going to have to get up really early in the morning for that, though. It's going to suck because they changed our flight times. Awesome, Chase. Glad to hear it. Nick says, any groups or rules this week? The only rules I have is I want at least 2 dominators, and that would include everybody from Kyle Busch and above. Everybody Kyle and Busch. Well, I guess besides Kurt Busch, because I can't really call him a dominator, but besides Kurt, at least 2 of those drivers. And then I have a scrub group of everybody below Corey LaJoy max 1. That's my, and I included Alfredo in there too, because he kind of is a scrub driver. I mean, he's not very good. Chase says Logano going to win Classic Sick Race. I hope not. I'm kind of low on Joey today, up a little bit, but I want the more Joey I added, the less Hamlin and Larson I'd get, and I'm more confident in those guys. So I had to take a stance somewhere. So my stance was maybe before the race, correct? Mitchell says, good morning, Chris. Who was your favorite tournament play? Priced between $5,100 and $7,100. Good morning to you as well, Mitchell, or good afternoon, I should say. Well, I guess you're probably on the West Coast. $5,100 to $7,100 favorite tournament play. So my favorite play is Cindric, but he's not a tournament play. Like, I mean, you can play him in tournaments, but he's going to be so high owned. I guess my favorite tournament play in here. Okay, so just for the record, I like Chastain, I like Suarez, and I like Buescher more. But if you're looking for low ownership, Tyler Reddick I think is a pretty sneaky player at $6,900. He's starting 11th. I think if he can right up top, use it to his advantage, I think he could be a sneaky top 10 contender today. So I would say Tyler Reddick there for tournaments. Someone in Discord just said no tech info as of yet. So for those of you asking, I guess we have nothing. And those guys are usually in the Discord are pretty like locked in on Bob's tweets. Nope. Someone said I was frozen. Oh. I guess my Ethernet cord's out. Okay, I plugged my Ethernet back in. So let me make sure it's working. I guess it unplugged for a second. Oh, wait a second. I'll get some water. Good now? Okay, cool. I guess my Ethernet cord went out, so just let me know and I can fix that. Joe says, can you fade Cindric in big field GPP? I mean, you can. He's my highest owned driver today, though, but I mean, it's just so hard to get away from him because the other options are guys like Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, Chris Buescher, which you can pair with him. So I wouldn't say I want to fade Cindric today. Okay, just making sure the chat says I'm working. Okay, cool. I don't know why it unplugged. But, I mean, you can fade him to get different because he's going to have very high ownership. Your pivots would be guys like Reddick, Chastain, Suarez, but the guys below him are going to be pretty chalky as well. Wes says Bowman for the win. I like playing Bowman. I've played him a lot this year. I said in my video I'm the president of the Ryan Blaney fan club, but I feel like I want to sign up to be vice president of the Alex Bowman fan club because he's been doing very well for me in a decent amount of races so far this year. So, yeah, I can definitely get behind some Bowman today. Got a good chunk of him. He seems like he's been pretty fast in this 48 car. Easy says, smash the like and let's get this money. Totally agree. Smash that like button. Helps me out. I don't know how many people are in here, but maybe we can get above 100 likes. Sterling says Joey's also sick today, so I might have hydration issues. Yeah, and I saw that after I was kind of low on him. I was like, oh, that kind of makes me feel a little bit better. Someone said I look blurry. Let me just check. I'm not on Streamlabs. I think it's probably because it went out for a little bit. Trucker Mike says, not hungover, but you look blurry. Chuck says, I don't know if you or I mispronounced Ethernet, but one of us is wrong. I mean, it's probably me. I guess it might be Ethernet. Ethernet. I'm not really sure. John says, how do you feel about Eric Jones? I like Eric Jones. You guys know I'm a big, not a big Eric Jones fan, but I played him a lot last year. Sucks that he's in the 43 car now, but he did have a top 15 at a 1.5 this year, and this is a really good track for him. I know the downgrade equipment's going to suck, so you can't expect him to put up top 5s like he used to in the past, but I think there's top 15 upside, and he could realistically gain you like 10 to 12 spots today. So I do like Eric Jones quite a bit. I think he's a very safe cash play. Spread says 229 peeps should stop and like right now. Oh, cool. Got 230 people. Appreciate everyone stopping in today. I do not, Sterling. I think they'll be fine. But I do understand the concern there. Michael says, I am president of the Chase Elliott fan club, and he has been the worst Hendrick driver this year. Look for a breakout day. He really has been, too. And the thing is, I feel like I've been overweight on him almost every single week so far, and he just isn't doing anything. And it's weird because you'd expect him to be the best Hendrick car, but that's definitely been Larson, Bowman, and Byron. They've been great this year, but Chase Elliott's really lagging behind, but that'll obviously change at some point. I mean, we can't just expect Chase Elliott to kind of, I don't want to say suck, but kind of suck this year. What's up, Pedro? Bell, Bowman, Byron, Jones, Reddick, Stenhouse, GPP. That sounds pretty contrarian to me. I don't mind that at all. You got your two big dogs in, oops. You got your big dog in Alex Bowman, and really mid-range after that, but I kind of like that because your lowest guy is what, Reddick? Price range guys? Yeah, I think Reddick, so I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Because the Byron's an early dominator. You're getting a really good price tag on him, and we know how good he's been all season long in the 1.5s. Chase says, must play Joey, classic sick race scenario, don't fall into the trap. I don't have any data on sick race scenarios to back anything up on, but I'm not having a lot of Joey. And it's not even because he's sick, it's just because I want Larson and Hamlin. Like, if I add Joey, it takes away from Hamlin and Larson, and that's my stances today. Baldy says Aaron Jones. Did I say Aaron Jones? Aaron Jones is just he's one of those running backs where I feel like I never get right. Andre says, can I rank the 6K range? Sure, let's do it off the top of my head. I'll say Cindric number 1, Chastain number 2, Suarez number 3, Busch number 4, Reddick 5, and Briscoe 6 is how I'd rank those guys. Michael says, I'm president of the CP fan club. Awesome, Michael. Well, let me know when you guys meet, and I can come in and hang out at the CP fan club. Rob says, when you win the Chrome Horn, can we refer to you as Crispy Hundreds? Yeah, for sure, Rob. For sure. Although I'm not in the Chrome Horn. I am in the Lug Nut and some single entries. Although I did win the Chrome Horn before. Unfortunately, there were some ties, but it was like 2 years ago, probably before anyone was here. It was like, I want to say 2019 maybe. I probably only had like 200 subscribers. Matt says, besides Cindric, who's your favorite cash play? Kyle Larson. I know he's very expensive, so it's easy to say that, but I'm definitely playing him in cash today. What's up, Obi? Nice to have you in here. OS says, Larson, Kyle Busch, or Blaney Bowman? Well, I'll go the first one there. It's close, though, but I'll go the first one. Max says, hey, Chris, 2v2 cash, Ricky Suarez, or Bowman Pasta Man? Well, I hate telling you to play Pasta in cash games, but also like Bowman. Okay, I can't tell you to play Pasta in cash, I don't think. I'm going to go with Ricky and Suarez. I'm assuming you have other big-name guys as well. So, assuming that's the case, I'll go the first one. Pasta's going to lose spots. We need guys that, have a nice floor, and Pasta's got a very low floor, so I cannot recommend you playing Pasta in cash today. As appealing as it may be at $4,500, I just can't do it. Spread says, Custer looks like a good play on paper. And then Stewart-Haas racing. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. Stewart-Haas has been awful. And I want to let you guys know right now in my Discord chat this morning, I just have a weird feeling about Kevin Harvick today. I feel like this will be like the one race he breaks out. And it's going to happen at some point. I don't know. I have a weird feeling on Harvick. So I actually have a little bit, I'm like slightly overweight on Harvick. It might be dumb, but the price point's good. He's starting up front. A lot of the good cars in the back. This could be his one chance to lead laps early on. If he can lead the stage, $9,100 I'll do. But I'm not saying he's like a big tournament play of mine, but I just want to let you know I do have a weird feeling on Kevin Harvick today. Plus, you got the Busch thing going on because that's his sponsor. Effie says, darn CP, I lost my whisker count when you froze. Thoughts on Harvick? Oh, yeah, I never seen that, chat. I forgot to mention it, but glad the camera looked good. I think I'm burnt. I was just tanning for like 2 hours before I went on here. That's why I pushed the live stream back because it was so warm I didn't feel like moving. I feel like my face is all red, even though I put sunscreen on. Thoughts on Harvick? Think he will bust? Well, that's funny. I just read your chat because I was talking about Harvick, so I think I already answered your question. Massey says, what do you think of a 4 potential dominator pairing with Cindric and Alfredo GPP? Cindric's GPP, sure. Again, Alfredo is a very risky play this weekend, but I actually was looking at some of my lineups in the optimizer, and it looks like 4 Doms could work if you went like a Harvick, Kyle Busch, Blaney, Keselowski route, but even then you're kind of loading up the front, but it's certainly possible. I wouldn't hate the idea. Josh says, Eric Jones or Stenhouse and Bowman or Hamlin? Eric Jones or Stenhouse and Bowman, well, if it's between those two, Bowman or Hamlin, pretty easily. If that's how you were asking the question. But definitely the last two. Pearson says, late to the draw. No problem, Pearson. Anyone going to the back, and who are the core plays? As of right now, I don't think anyone's going to the back. You guys usually let me know in chat, so you'll have to let me know because I can't check Twitter at the same time, so I would appreciate that. But I say core plays today. Just kind of like the cash locks, I would say, are Larson and Cindric. It's really hard to pass up in cash today. Gerald says, one more like to go to 100. Someone smash it. Yeah, someone help me out there. Appreciate it. The likes go a long way. Wes says, would you play one more Super Tour to get into the studs in the back? LaJoy, price range, and down. So would you play more than one? Are we talking cash games, Wes, or are we talking just like a tournament? Because in tournaments, you can kind of go whatever you want down there. In cash games, I would not go below. In cash day, I want to go below Suarez. You could make a case for Buescher, so I guess I wouldn't want to go below Buescher. But I wouldn't really want to go below Suarez in cash today. But I actually have a specific group today in my tournament builds to not have more than one of these scrub drivers, what you just mentioned. So I guess I would say no. Timothy says, thoughts on Blaney leading laps? I hope so. I like him a lot today in tournaments, just because he's been so good at the 1.5. So I would be very happy if Blaney led laps today, and that's my assumption. I think it's going to happen. Pearson says, love the mason jar. That's how we do it in Mississippi. Heck yeah. Love the mason jar. It's got so much water in it. I just spilled the water. David says, who is your favorite to win the race? It's going to be hard not to say Larson today. The numbers he's put up at the 1.5s is just really hard to ignore. Outside of any issues on pit road or wrecking or just something stupid happening to the car, I would say he's going to be the contender to win. I also think Denny Hamlin's going to be right up there with him as well. Timothy says, best driver 5,200 and below. That'd be Justin Haley for me. Because I think people want me to say Alfredo, but it's going to be Haley for me. He's got to say for Flores. I just saw a donation, so let's check that out. Appreciate it, Robert. Thank you very much. You don't have to do that. But, hello. What do you think? Larson, Truex, Byron, Bell, Reddick, and McLeod. Okay, so obviously I think we both know that McLeod's an absolute YOLO pump play, so that can go south very quick. But every other driver you have, I do like quite a bit. I love Larson today. Absolutely love Truex. I love that price point. Really hard to pass that up. Byron, he's a real big tournament play here, or I should say risky tournament play, because starting second, he's going to have to get some fast laps at some point, hopefully get up front, but that's certainly possible, because what he's done at the 1.5s this year is pretty impressive. He's got one of the best average finishes, and he's been a top 10 machine all season long, but you need him to get fast laps. Same with Christopher Bell. We need him to kind of hang around where he starts and improve on that a little bit. Reddick, I like him in tournaments, so don't mind that in tournaments. If you're playing cash games, that's the wrong way to go, but I do think that's a solid tournament lineup, although McLeod is an absolute pump play. I feel like I don't know if I'd rather play Alfredo over McLeod, but I don't hate it. So thank you for the dono, Roger. Appreciate that. Or Robert, I think. Yeah, Robert. I saw a couple people asking about Mills. Also, let's go to Boldy right here. Do you have Mills, Haley, or Alfredo in your builds? I think I have all those guys, but they're maxed at 1% besides Alfredo. I don't have Alfredo maxed at 1%, but I do have Mills and Haley. Those are okay. So of the scrub group, besides Alfredo, the most I have is Haley and Mills because of where they're starting, and well, for where Mills was starting because he's in dead last, and I feel like he could be a 35th kind of guy, which is kind of like a similar point range of where I think Alfredo will land if he happens to lose like 4 or 5 spots today. So I do think Matt Mills is somewhat viable in the BJ McLeod Motorsports car. And Justin Haley in the 77 car, he's got an average rank position inside the top 30 at the 1.5s this year. I feel like the 77 car is better than most of these cars, like the Rick Ware racing cars. So I do have a little bit of Haley and Mills, and I do have Alfredo as well. So those are like the bottom feeders that I feel comfortable playing a little bit. Brandon says, hey Chris, what do you think of A. Bowman, Chris Buescher, Kurt Busch, Cindric, Larson, and Suarez? That sounds like a really good lineup. Your big dogs are Larson, and Alex Bowman. I like that a lot. Then we have Kurt Busch and Cindric. Yeah, it's a good lineup. Really like that a lot, Brandon. Todd says, any Truex today? Yeah, heck yeah, I like Truex quite a bit. I mean, $10,000 for Truex starting 15th at a 1.5, sign me up. Jim says the lowest I went on my lineups was Haley. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. Like, I know Pasta Man is a big, like, discussion this weekend. I've been seeing it on Twitter. I feel like there's going to be fights on Twitter today. Talking about Anthony Alfredo, if he does good or bad, but, there's definitely be some call-outs, but I'm pretty neutral on Alfredo. Like, I can see why people like him. I can see why people don't like him. I think both cases make sense. But, yeah, I think that's fine. Like, you don't have to play him, so I think nothing below Haley's fine. Yeah, I think he's somewhat worth of a shot, Matt. I mean, I don't know too much about Mills, but I think he can be a top 35 guy. But again, the guys down low were like, it's really hard to project for the most part. They kind of just hang around back there, and they're kind of shuffled each and every single week. Like, the ones I wouldn't play, like, I have a hard time playing BJ McLeod starting 30th, Ware 33rd. I mean, I could guess you could maybe throw in a Smithley and Palicki, but I mean, these guys are all going to finish back there. And for the most part, at 1.5, I don't typically like to roster these kind of drivers anyway. Did we get another donation? Well, geez, guys, thank you. Usually there's not a lot of donations in the chat, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Jim. I think you're in Discord as well, so thank you. Appreciate it. If you had a question, let me know with it. But like the super sticker. Oh. Joe says, for GPP, can you play both Haley and Cindric to open value? Yeah. Cindric's not like a bottom feeder guy, so I mean, I only like having like one max, like 0 to 1 bottom feeders in my lineup, so yeah, it's fine. Any Austin Dillon for GPP? I really don't have any Austin Dillon today. Starting 6 is just such a hard spot to be in. Like, I like him at 1.5. He's actually one of the better drivers of these tracks, like very consistent. It's just starting 6, like I can, like off the top of my head, I can like name 6 drivers that will more than likely finish ahead of him. Like, he can be like a 10th to 12th place guy, but I don't really see that being optimal today. Boldy says you can't play McLeod. I mean, I can't really either. Oh, Duke coming in with the narrative alert saying it's Newman's 700th race. So if you guys like narratives, you can throw Newman in with all the Bushes if you guys like the narratives. Oh, sorry, I was reading Dude's quote. I wasn't sure if he was saying it or if it was. Jay says, thoughts on Mills, Chris? I guess you guys like Mills a little bit. Like, he can gain a few spots. Like, if someone wrecks, and he's not the first guy that wrecks, he can't lose you points today. I think the heat map probably has him. I don't think he can get 0. I think he can get like 2 points today, like his floor. So if you're looking for floor, sure, but I don't have any high hopes there. Rangers fan says, what do you think, or I'm sorry, how owned do you anticipate Alfredo being? So it's something I was kind of having hard to project this week. I think he's going to land in that 10 to 20% range, and I'm kind of leaning towards the upper portion of that, which I think is probably a little bit too high owned on Anthony Alfredo starting 22nd. I realize the price is low, but we got to look at the starting spot too. Mills is 2K on FanDuel. Well, that is pretty low. I don't play him on FanDuel, but I mean, if you want to just completely YOLO punt down low and get in every stud, I guess that's possible. Brayden says, what do you think of Bowman, Buescher, Kurt Busch, Cindric, Larson, and Suarez? Is that the same lineup you sent earlier? If it's not, though, I like that one too, but I think it sounds like the first one, but I like both of them quite a bit, so I think you're doing good, Brandon. Jason says, Suarez or Buescher, DKGP. I like Suarez a little bit more. I feel like they have similar finishing position upside, so why not take the guy starting 5 spots further back? That's my opinion on that. Michael throwing another narrative. Bowman 200th race and Newman 700th. Pair the two together. You You guys are loving the narratives. Oh, yeah. Kyle Busch birthday today, too. Forgot about that. Kyle Busch's birthday, so. And $8,600. Have we talked about Kyle Busch yet? Like, what is this price tag? I realize it's the COVID era and he doesn't dominate anymore, but what? $8,600? Doesn't he have 2 top 5 finishes, the 1.5s this year? It's pretty hard to pass up the price point. I have a good chunk of Kyle today. Jim says, Chris, what do you think of Hendrick drivers and Gibbs today? And do you think Hamlin will win the race today? I like Hendrick quite a bit. I love Larson. I like Byron in tournaments. I like Bowman. I can get behind a little bit of Chase Elliott, and I love the Gibbs cars. Like, I think the Gibbs cars are probably the best ones to target today because I love Hamlin. I love Truex. I even like Bell. I like Kyle Busch as well. So I'm pretty heavy on the JGR cars. And do I think Hamlin won the race today? He's one of my favorites. I feel like my top 3 to win are probably Larson, Denny Hamlin, and Truex. OS says Bowman, Harvick, or Kyle Busch, Hamlin. I'll go the second one there. Sorogi says top GPP plays. Let's see. Well, there's some like kind of more obvious tournament plays. Like I think Truex is a good tournament play, but he's probably gonna be pretty chalky as well. So tournament plays, I'd probably say like a Blaney, a Harvick, a Byron, a Christopher Bell, those kind of guys that might go a little bit overlooked because of where they're starting. Charles says Team Penske. You like Team Penske? Yeah, I like Team Penske. A little bit. I like Blaney. I guess I like Logano and Keselowski. They're not. I don't like them as much as some of the other drivers today. Matt says, yeah, Kyle Busch's birthday today, so that's another narrative. Yeah, for sure. For sure. If Kyle Busch comes out and wins today, I mean, it'd be kind of fun to see because I have a good amount of him, and I just love the price tag. Like, it's so hard to pass up. Chase says plus Kyle won last night. It's true. I mean, I'd hope he'd win the truck race, but yeah, for sure. Chase says your top 3 to win are the Vegas favorites. Well, it makes sense, but I didn't have the Vegas numbers right in front of my head, but I guess, yeah, it makes too much sense. I mean, Chris says Larson, Bowman, K. Busch. Which K. Busch? Kyle or Kurt? I mean, I like both, but Kurt's probably better for cash games. Cindric, Jones, and Alfredo cash. I can't recommend Alfredo in cash today, and I want to because I was playing around with lineups, and Alfredo makes everything work, but I just can't do it because there's so much downside there in cash games, and we don't need unnecessary risk in cash games. So I cannot recommend Alfredo in cash today. In cash games, I don't think I want to go below Suarez. Because in cash games, we want those safe plays. Alfredo, the price is safe, but starting 22nd, like, he's probably going to lose 8 spots today. CS Harold says high price driver starting near the front versus high price driver starting the rear is a rule of thumb, figuring out which is best given the race and track. So it's all kind of slate dependent of where these guys are starting. So typically at a 1.5 mile track, we want those drivers starting close to the front because that's where usually most of the good drivers are, and they're going to pick up down air points. But the way the slate is after a Talladega race, the lineup formula has all these good drivers in the back like Larson, Logano, Hamlin, all these guys. I don't have to list all the names. So it's kind of a different strategy because if we look at the previous optimal lineup tab, I went over this in the, or did I? I don't know if I did go over this, but previous optimal lineups here, we've actually had similar races where there's a lot of good cars in the back. So even though there's other good drivers starting up front, the laps they miss out early on, they make up for that in the place differential. So let's see, like this race right here, Denny Hamlin 23rd, Jones 20th. Where's the one? Like, there's just so many instances. Like Kyle Larson 27th, Elliott 13th. Then you have Elliott 32nd, Larson 35th. Bowman was starting up front there. Denny Hamlin 23rd. So there's been a lot of instances where there's a lot of good drivers starting in the back at this track for some reason. And they end up still making the optimal lineup. And Kyle Larson, actually, the past 4 races he's been in here, he's been in the optimal lineup every single time. I just noticed that today. Because I forgot he didn't race in last year's races. I was like, because I was looking, because I kept seeing Kyle Larson's name. So that was just something I kind of caught today this morning. Logano's also been in 3 of the past 6 as well, if anyone is interested. Did she, Sterling? I didn't see that. It's terrible. I did not know that. Albert says, not sure if you responded. I'm not sure if I did either, Albert, but I'll respond again. Big Field GP, Larson, Hamlin, Brad K, Cindric, Buescher, and Haley. I think that works. You got Brad K up front, and then you got Larson, place differential, Hamlin, place differential. Cindric's kind of like the auto lock this week. Buescher, yeah, I think that's fine. Spread says Blaney's getting that dub. Hopefully it's his Atlanta car. I mean, I hope he does too. So it'd always be a good week for me if Blaney wins, because you guys know I'm usually overweight in the field on Blaney. Also, reminder, I think we have 5 spots left in the contest. I can check that really quick. So we have 5 spots, I think. It's not loading. Oh, 2 spots. We have 2 spots in the contest, so if you want in, if I sent you an invite and you didn't accept it yet, please answer. Or, please accept it. Sorry, I was reading something else and put me off. Okay, anyway. Charles says Roush had success last 1.5 mile track, maybe Buschy or Newman. Yeah, I can get behind. I really like Buschy. Newman, just the price point kind of makes me feel like an play for the most part, but I do like Buschy quite a bit just because of the price point. $6,100 is pretty cheap for a guy that's got top 12 upside. Rushia says what groups are you using? At least 2 of the drivers starting from Kyle Busch and above. It's like the only group. And then max 1 scrub. Sarugi says, how much is too much to leave on the table while building lineups? Well, today, there's a lot of good expensive drivers, so I'm mainly trying to use as much salary as possible. Obviously, you're going to have some lineups that aren't using the full one, but this is not a track where you're looking to, like, Talladega and leaving, like, 10K on the table. So, for the most part, you're going to want to be using most of your salary. Peter says, Chris, Ryan or Bowman GPP? That hurt last night with Kyle winning, finished second. Oh really? Yeah, for sure. I'm sure it did. Sorry, it's thirsty. Between those two, I mean, Bowman's the better play, in my opinion. I want to say Ryan Blaney, but there's just a lot more downside. I'm going to go with Bowman there. But I would imagine Ryan Blaney's going to be lower owned today. That's what at least I had projected. Suarez or Busch? I'll go with Suarez there. Sterling. Mr. S says, CP, the league filled up yet? I probably answered that before after you typed that, so hopefully that answered your question. American does something says Chastain is your best play. I'm not sure he's my best play, but I like him as a cheap play today. It's not my favorite play. Sex God says people seem to be off Chastain. Yeah, he might be okay. I don't know. Are people off Chastain? I feel like he's gonna be pretty popular today. It's just kind of hard to. I mean, $6,500. There's not that many good cheap plays. Like usually we have like a handful of good 5K range drivers, but that's not really the case today. So I'm imagining a lot of people are going to go towards like this Cindric, Roush Chastain, Daniel Suarez, Chris Buescher range. Alan says, is Kurt Busch overlooked today? I don't think he was, but doing this live stream, I don't think we've had a Kurt Busch question, so maybe he is a little bit. I mean, the price tag might be keeping people off of him, but the guy's typically a top 10 machine at these track types, so I like Kurt today. He's one of my higher owned drivers. Messi says, you said Byron is GPP. It's so hard to put him in over Kyle, who's cheaper. I totally understand that. I mean, you can play both, but it is hard to play Byron over Kyle Busch. I mean, the name values just makes you want to go with Kyle. Damon says top 3 cash plays. I would say Larson, Cindric. You could throw in probably like a Hamlin. Robert says wondering about Briscoe. It's just the Stewart-Haas cars and Briscoe himself is just pretty bad this year. I like the price point. I have a little bit of Briscoe just because of the price, and the cheap drivers kind of suck this week. But that's the only reason. He'll probably lose a couple spots, to be honest. But even if he does, around a 20th place finish would be the worst thing at $6,000. Lauren says Alfredo, how for where? Well, between those guys, Alfredo. Charles says Cindric going to be a bomb in a good way or a bad way. I mean, unless he wrecks or just has an issue, I can't really see Cindric killing your lineups today. Chris says Larson, Truex, Kurt Busch, Cindric, Buescher, and Chastain in cash games. Don't like fading Bowman. Yeah, I mean, I don't like fading Bowman either, but I don't think you have to play him in cash today. Larson, Truex like that. Kurt Busch, Cindric. Yeah, that's totally fine, Chris. I think it looks great. Feels a lot better than having Alfredo in cash, I'll tell you that. Trucker Mike says, what's the best lineup to win your contest? Well, I don't know. If I knew, I would play it for sure. I still got to build mine. I was debating on a couple things. Just a couple things I was trying to get. Sorry, I'm reading my Discord as well. Okay, let's see. Spread says 2. Chase says Chase Pia. I'll send the invite. I'll send you one at 2 Obies as long as you send... put that in the preview video, and I'll send you guys the invite after that. David says you should send invites to CP fan club members only. We got to get an official list of the CP fan club, David. Let they get that on a mailing list. David says Larson, Cindric, Harvick. Okay, when you guys say K Busch, you guys gotta let me know. Like, give me a U or a Y after the fact, because I have no idea. Larson, Cindric, Harvick, Busch, Bell, and Suarez. I mean, either Busch works for me there, so I do like that lineup, but it would just sway a little bit whether it was Kurt or Kyle. Colton says, got me some chicken tendies for lunch. Feels good, man. Yeah, for sure. Nothing wrong with the chicken tendies on a Sunday. Not at all. Ben says, Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Blaney, Harvick, Reddick, and Buescher. I think that's a good tournament lineup right there. Good tournament lineup. Because you're missing out on like all the big place differential guys back there, but if you don't think they lead laps, I mean, they can still work out if they don't lead laps, but if you get like nail like 2 to 3 of those guys, which the Busch price makes up for it, because all 4 of those guys probably aren't going to dominate, so you might be a little bit overboard in the front guys, but I can see that working. If the place differential guys have issues, which is possible. Stan says Bell, Omarola, or Stenhouse. I like Bell the most out of those guys. Stenhouse is probably the safest, but I do like the upside of Bell today. I will do, Dave, right after this. There's 2 invites, so whoever accepts it first, it's going to be, you guys got to be on like your trigger fingers. Get ready to accept some invites here. Malcolm says 2 or 3 dominators. I'm fine with both. I mean, I don't think it's a definitive answer of whether to have 2 or 3. I have a mixture. 2 or 3. If I'm building one lineup today, like a single entry, I'm probably just getting 2 of those guys and then maybe throwing in like a Kurt, just because I don't want to go down to a Fredo today in one lineup. Alan says Bell or Stenhouse in GPP. I'll go with Bell there. I mean, there's more downside starting 8th, but I just feel like he's got top 5 potential today. All good, Brandon. No worries. Joe says, would you play Mills over Pasta Boy? Probably not. Oh, that's a tough question. That is a really tough question. Let's go to the heat map. It's always fun looking at the heat map anyway. So let's play scenarios. Let's say Matt Mills finishes 35th today. That's 12. No, it's 34th. It's like 10 points. Let's say Anthony Alfredo finishes 26th. That is 12 points. That's a toss-up. Mills might be safer, as ugly as that sounds. I feel like I'd rather play Alfredo, though, over Mills. But I'll say Alfredo. I will say Alfredo, just but that feels so gross saying. That was a gross question. Gerald says, what are your lower-owned top plays? Well, I'm hoping Blaney goes a little bit over-owned. Not over-owned, sorry. Under-owned. I also like William Byron, just because what we've seen from him at the 1.5s this year. Christopher Bell might be a little bit lower-owned. Tyler Reddick might be a little bit low. Those kind of guys. If you're talking about dominators, I'm hoping Truex and Elliott. Well, not really hoping too much on Elliott, but I'm hoping Truex gets a little bit overlooked because he's starting the furthest up out of all these drivers. I just feel like the price point might get some people on him, but kind of it. And I want to say, I have a weird feeling on Kevin Harvick today. I don't have any numbers to back it up much because he's been terrible this year, but it's going to happen at some point. I like the price point. He's good at Kansas, and I don't know. Just got that feeling today. It's weird. I don't know, so let me check that out. Chat froze. Appreciate it, Joe. Thank you very much. You don't have to do that, but thank you very much. GPP, Blaney, Kyle Busch, Bowman, Haley, Cindric. Currently have 9.9 left on DK. Any thoughts on this lineup if I should get different anywhere? So you have 9,900 left? Okay, so we got Blaney up front, Kyle Busch up front, Bowman in the back, Haley, Cindric. Okay, well, let's see. If you had $100 more, we could get Truex, and I would feel really good about that. Is there any way we can get $100 more in that lineup? I guess maybe you could go down to Truex, but that's tough. That is really tough. I mean, I think you have a good start to your lineup. The problem is trying to find that last driver. You could go Keselowski. The only problem is you'd have Keselowski, Busch, and Blaney all up front, which might not be the best way to go about it. If I had to pick one driver from 900 and below, I would say Kurt Busch because he's starting 28, so you get that place differential because you got a couple guys starting closer to the front. So, but I think it's a good lineup though. Jay says thoughts on Priest. Starting 12th. He's probably going to lose like 8 spots today, maybe more. So I can't really recommend too much Priest today. Chris says it's Sunday sauce, but we're talking red sauce, not Alfredo. I love the pasta jokes. There's never... Nope. My Ethernet went out. Hold on. Probably going to get a bunch of things saying I'm frozen. Or Ethernet. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Did anyone get sent to the rear? Not that I know of. You guys usually let me know, so I usually try to wait on you guys let me know. Luke says, what's up, Chris? What's up, Luke? Assuming a lot of people are talking to you about Alfredo for sure. I mean, when I woke up this morning, I was like, I'm going to answer a lot of Alfredo questions today, and that's what we've been doing for the most part. It's a hot topic today. I'm kind of excited to see how Twitter unfolds, because I've seen some subtweeting going on about Alfredo takes. And you'll never see me doing that. I can understand both sides. Plus, I'd never get into a Twitter war. Not frozen? Cool. It's kind of scared me. I saw the answer when that was out. Have to use an adapter, because, MacBooks are just kind of weird in that. Colton says, Kurt in the lineup slaps if he can get more money. Yeah, for sure. Agree, Colton. I agree. Skylar says, Larson, Hamlin, Truex, Cindric, LaJoy, Haley. Yeah, I can get behind that. I mean, LaJoy, Haley doesn't feel that good, but the rest of the drivers, if they fail hit, I like it. Zach says, lowest cash play. Haley would be pushing it, but realistically, I'd like to get to like a Busch or Chastain Suarez for cash as my lowest driver. Spread says new Ethernet with the clip broken on it. I'm not even really sure what the clip is. Is it like the little thing you plug in? I'm not really sure. It just keeps kind of falling out. Let's see. Dave says, I heard Elliott sent to the rear. Not confirmed yet? Okay, well, let me know. I mean, it really wouldn't change too much for me on Chase because he's not starting up front. He's not starting in the back either, but I'm not a big fan of Chase today. But I guess it would make me feel better even being a little bit lower on him. Is Suarez okay? Yeah, I like Suarez today. I like him a lot. Sorgi says, any thoughts on this lineup? Buescher, Kurt Busch, Cindric, LaJoy, Larson, Logano. I think that's very good. It's good. Like Logano, I like Larson, I like Cindric, I like Kurt, I like LaJoy. I kind of like LaJoy, but he's just one of those bottom drivers that kind of works at the end. Penne or Linguini? Oh, I love pasta noodles. My favorite between those two, penne, but I really like the, what's it called? Farfalle? The little bow ties. I know my girlfriend loves the little bow ties. She thinks they're cute. But penne, rotini, farfalle. I'm probably saying it wrong, but those are all excellent pasta noodles. David says, after the race, do you ever say, how did I miss that? No, sometimes. Like, if I miss on a Dominator, like, I'll feel stupid. Like, if there's a Dominator I'm really low on, they just start dominating. I feel, like, so dumb after the fact. Like, I missed on William Byron the one week, I think. I didn't have any William... I had a little bit of William Byron, but I kind of missed on that. It's like, oh, gosh. But, yeah, I do that sometimes. For sure. It's how you learn. Always stuff to learn. Chris says UFC fan wants... Oh, that's your name? Okay. I will try to sign invites after this. No promises you guys will make it. I'm not sure how many spots are still open. Michael says, Blaney seems to have rough history here. You still high on him? Yeah. If you look at his average finishes, they're bad. But he has one of the best average running positions in the field here. He just happens to get bad finishes. And typically at some point that'll start evening out. So definitely still like Blaney. Brock says, what about Newman and Bubba? Haven't heard anyone discuss them. Yeah, I mean, Newman, Bubba, they're just kind of those, like, I'm not getting to the 7K range much. I don't like MDB, I don't like Dylan, don't really like Newman, Bubba, or Custer today. Jones is the one guy I like in the 7K range. The problem with Bubba and Newman are they're probably going to run around 15, 20 place today, which doesn't really offer you a whole lot of upside from where they're starting. Oh, Luke says, how did I miss Buescher at home? So, yeah, okay, that was the one thing. I don't think I had any Buescher that day. That was insane. I remember that one. Chase says, now I'm hungry. All this food talk. I know, I haven't ate, I was going to say dinner. I haven't ate lunch yet. Chris says, Ziti Frita is fire. I'm not even sure. What does that look like? It sounds spirally, but I'm not sure. Pasta noodles are they're fun. They got fun names and they're all different shapes and sizes. Jim says, thoughts on fading Kurt Busch? I will not be fading Kurt Busch today. I just feel like starting all the way back in 28th, his price isn't super expensive. He just fits into the lineups nicely. Andre says, pizza leftovers incoming for me? Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds real. I went to Blaze Pizza yesterday. Got a pizza. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything left over because I ate the whole thing. It's like my one cheat meal of the weekend. We go to Blaze, get pizza. It's really good. But pizza leftovers are the bomb. Alan says, feels like a good day to fade Hamlin and Larson in GPP. Oh, well, they're some of my favorite plays today. Yes, they'll be high owned, so you could always pivot to Logano, Elliott, Bowman, Truex, but I have a hard time getting away from those guys today. Michael says, Chris, you're not dumb. Sometimes I feel dumb. Well, I know some of those things you can't control. It's just like, wow, how did that happen? I did not see that coming in any scenario. Happens to all of us. William says, Costa, Reddick, and Cash. I guess Reddick. I don't really like either in cash games, so if I had to pick one, I'd go Reddick. Dave says, you prefer Bowman Fredo or Truex Ware? Ooh, well, can't do Ware, so I'll go the Bowman Fredo route. Even then, though, Fredo. But yeah, I'll go the first one. Yes, baby bow ties are the best. They are definitely really good. Definitely good. Jay says, thoughts on Cowboy Dylan today, Chris, and GPPs? He's starting way too up front for me. I probably have less than 5% Dylan today, to be honest. If he gets a front and leads laps, whatever, I'll take the L there. I just don't see that happening. Hit the like button. Totally agree, Boldy. Totally agree. Chase says, hey man, Suarez on Reddick. Suarez or Reddick and Cash. Sorry if you answered. No problem. Never have to apologize. I'll go Suarez there. Joseph says, new to DFS, can you tell me what DOMs, chalk, and lawnmower are? Lawnmower is just my term. Yeah, I don't think you're going to hear that anywhere else, but the lawnmower is what I call the slow cars. And I only use that for specific drivers, but I call them the lawnmower. So like the guys in the back that just kind of ride around. But sometimes there's good drivers that just seem to be driving lawnmowers that day. So I'll give out a lawnmower award on Twitter. DOMs, those are the guys that can get a front lead laps, typically at the expense of drivers every single week. You're not going to see like a Ross Chastain or anything get a front lead laps, or like a Ryan Newman for the most part. Sometimes crazy things happen, but it's more than likely not. So those are the DOMs. Chalk, those are your high-owned drivers. So let's say you see Larson at 40% owned today, that's chalk. That's where everyone went, to the chalky driver. And let's say you see Eric Almirola at like 5% today, he's not chalk. That makes sense. I do like Eric Jones in cash today, Chase. I do. Jay says, Chris, I got a lineup on the 444 single. Should I play Alfredo? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know. I just have a hard time recommending Alfredo to you guys because he's going to lose spots today. It looks appealing to do so. It's hard to do. And plus, if he's high owned today and you fade him and he just loses 10 spots, I mean, you're looking real good. I mean, Justin Haley can outscore Alfredo today. HC something says, I have 300 left over. Kurt, Chastain, Cindric, Haley, Hamlin, Larson, leave 300. Yeah, I like that. I mean, the only thing I'd really want to upgrade would be like a Haley, but you can only get up to Smithley, and I'd rather play Haley. So, yeah, I think that's fine. Good luck today, everyone. Thank you, Stan. You as well. Luke says, Buschy McBusch race 400 is the race, so stat Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick sponsor, and Buescher. Yes, that is exactly right, Luke. Also, if you want to go one step further, you can throw in McDowell because you got the McBusch, so you could go McDowell. And that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your 6 drivers. I'm sure that lineup would work. If you want to go full on narrative. Chase says, Chastain, Cindric, Hamlin, Jones, Larson, Suarez, Cash. Hamlin, Larson, Jones, Cindric, Chastain. Yeah, looks good. Like that, Chase. Nate says, any Almirola? Not really much. I mean, starting 18's not terrible, but just one of those guys I'm not really landing on. I'd rather play Stenhouse, to be honest. Which sounds crazy. Like just imagine saying last year I'd rather play Stenhouse at 8,200 over Almirola starting 18th, because Almirola was on a absolute hot streak last year for like a month, it felt like. Yeah, good luck to you, FE. Appreciate it. See you in Discord for sure. Discord is always a fun time on race day. Always super fun in there. Appreciate it, Chase. Thank you. I know your turn will be full, but if you get it, join the invite. Okay, gotcha, Chase. I'll try to send you that invite. I can check and see how many people. See if we actually have it filled yet. 99. There's one spot. One spot left. So, we'll see. One spot left. Michael says, I hope there are more race names like this. Yeah, it's a fun race name. I like it. I'm all for silliness. They let the fans vote for it. I can't remember if it was on Twitter or on their website, but yeah, it's fun. I like it. Plus, you're always going to remember this race name. Like, do you remember the race 3 weeks ago what the name was? I don't, but I'm never going to forget the Buschy McBusch race. So I think it's good marketing. Boom Tifa says, Hamlin, Logano, Truex, Cindric, Ross, and Gase. Well, Gase is, it's gross, but it's gross. I like the other drivers quite a bit, but I'm not sure I'd want to get to Gase. Yeah, I agree, Colton. Dylan's really high up for me as well. I agree. I like Jones better too. Andre says Logano, Larson, Bowman, Kurt, Suarez, all going to pass Alfredo, so that's at least 5. Yeah, I mean, Alfredo's losing spots today. I would be extremely, extremely shocked if Alfredo holds his position or gains spots. Like, that would be insane to me. If this was John Hunter Nemechek, starting in 22nd at $4,500. You could sign me up for a little bit of that, but Alfredo's been a lot worse in this car. Dave has confirmation here. Chastain, Alfredo, Jones to the back. Oh gosh, Alfredo's going to the back? Well, there goes the hope of holding position, right? I feel like I might just lower some exposure now. That sucks for Alfredo. Okay, no. Definitely, I mean, the hope for Alfredo was track position. I'm not saying I really liked Alfredo today. I'm just saying what the scenarios were for him. The hope for Alfredo was just hoping he holds track position a little bit, maybe loses a couple spots, but now he's got to go to the rear. I mean, he's probably going to stay back there for the most part, so. Ugh. David says, I remember hearing your dog barking during your MLB videos last year. Oh, yeah. That's before I learned how to do editing and stuff. I just ran the videos raw. But, yeah, dog's doing great. I got the collar on him right now. Now, it's not like one that hurts him. I had comments last year saying, why do you have a bark collar on your dog? But it's like a little vibrating one, and it barely even works. It's mostly just there as like a placebo for him, but it's a very slight vibration. Just try to teach him how to not bark during this, but I'll take it off as soon as we're done here. But yes, he's doing fine, and I'm sure he tells everyone hello. Good little doggo. Yeah, Alfredo going to the rear. I see people saying no, not Ross. I mean, I don't really care that Ross is going to the rear. He's the guy that can make up for that. But Alfredo, I mean, it's just, I feel like almost all hope is gone there. Jones, he was already in the rear anyway. Don't really care. So Chastain, Jones going to the back, don't really care. Alfredo, I mean, that probably move him down a little bit. Someone just sent my Discord that makes pasta even worse. Well, I said a different word, but I'm not going to say it on here. Samuel says, which combo would you prefer in GPPs? Eric Jones, Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick. Oh, sorry, I didn't even see the slashes there. Jones and Bowman, Busch and Harvick, Larson and Chastain. I guess we'll go Larson, Chastain there, just because I really like Larson today. Rockin' Cardinal, I would say Buescher there for your question. Buescher between him and Briscoe. Yeah, for sure, Colton, I agree. Like, John Nemechek had some really strong runs last year in that car. So he had some really good runs. And it just makes it look even more impressive this year from what we've seen Alfredo do. Like, it's been bad. I know Nemechek went on that run of just wrecking and spinning almost every single race. But when he put together a full race, he was pretty good out there. Relative to the equipment and the price range and stuff he's in for DFS purposes. Jerry says, Cindric, Alfredo, Suarez, Mills, McDowell, LaJoy, in cash. No. Don't do that, please. If you do that in cash today, you're losing money, I promise. Alright, we have like 1 more minute to an hour. I usually like to cap these as an hour, so we'll probably get out of here. Let me check a couple more questions. Who we pick instead of Chastain and Jones since going to the back? It doesn't change anything for me, Chase. You can still play them in cash games. They'll be fine. Alfredo's different on the other hand, but I don't really care that Chastain's going to the rear too much. I mean, yeah, it starts him out worse, but he should be able to pass cars. And plus you get the stage break, and then you get the competition caution. It'll shuffle things up. He'll be fine. It's not like you're playing Chastain to hope you get up front and dominate at some point anyway. Alright, guys, I think I'm going to get out of here. I do appreciate everyone stopping by. I love these live streams. It's always a really fun time. It's a good community here. Everyone's fun. Good place to hang out. Look forward to it every Sunday. But I think that's going to be it. I will see you guys in the next video. Appreciate everyone watching. I think I said that 4 times. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to adjust some lineups. Probably going to drop my Alfredo, which was already low anyway. Probably going to change a little bit. Might change a couple more things as well. But yeah, wish you guys the best of luck today. I'll see you on Twitter. Follow me over there if you haven't already. Join the Discord chat, which is kind of like an extension of these live streams every single week. You can join the Discord. It's always a fun time in there. But I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Awkward part where I'm not out yet. 284 concurrent, pretty good. Oh, also, I appreciate all the donos for those people who are still straggling around here. Appreciate the donos as well.